Hello, everyone.
And a special hello to all you boys and girls.
Right now, Uncle Dan has another of his thrilling Bible stories all ready to tell.
This story has been adapted from the book of Acts, chapters 8 and 9. I call it
Saul of Tarsus.
In the arrest, trial, and death by stoning of Stephen, there arose in prominence a young man of ambition and energy, Saul of Tarsus.
People! Stephen is a blasphemer worthy of death. Take stones in hand. Stone him.
Oh, Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
As clever and quick a bit of justice as I ever saw, Stephen's trial and death.
Clever, yes, but as to it being just, well, Stephen was not guilty of blasphemy, and he never had a chance against the Sanhedrin's cut-and-dried prosecution. It wasn't a fair trial at all.
I think Stephen was guilty of blasphemy, even though we had to hire witnesses to prove it. It is only by assuming that he was guilty that we can say that justice was done.
Oh, Stephen was guilty, all right, but not in the way we charged him. He was guilty of opposing the beliefs and authority of the priesthood.
Are you sorry for your part in his trial and death?
Not at all. Not at all. It's just that I'm a little skeptical, or shall we say, unsure that the end justified the means. Stephen preached heretical doctrines and deserves death. There's no doubt of that. Yet, well, we lied to gain his conviction, and lying is in itself condemned by our own laws. Is it right to sin in order to eliminate another sin?
Believe me, Saul of Tarsus, sometimes in the discharge of our religious duties, we perform acts which in themselves are repulsive and which we would never do were it not necessary.
I'll take your word for it, since you are the high priest.
I'm glad to hear you say that. You have a brilliant future ahead of you, Saul of Tarsus. Your conduct in the Stephen case has made your name famous, and your hostility toward the apostles is admired and talked of even by the most august members of the Sanhedrin. By the way, Saul, you are invited to attend the next meeting of the Sanhedrin and become a member.
Oh, my fame must be spreading.
Yes. Just stay in line with Israel's leaders, and your future is assured.
I have no desire or intention to get out of line, Your Grace.
You're on your way up, Saul of Tarsus. With your zeal and youth and daring, there is no limit to what you can accomplish.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Nevertheless, Saul could not erase from his memory the striking evidence of God's presence with Stephen during the trial. His mind was deeply stirred. He was perplexed.
You're not yourself, Saul. You're sullen and depressed. Is something troubling you?
The memory of a dying man.
Stephen?
Yes, Stephen. Not once during the trial did he show anger or impatience. He knew the witnesses against him were hired, yet he did not display the slightest animosity toward them. When he was being stoned, after he had fallen to the ground, bruised and mortally wounded, he prayed for those who were stoning him. Prayed for them, mind you. Well, those weren't actions of a guilty, godless person. I don't know what to think.
Well, why don't you discuss the matter with someone you trust?
Trust? Who can I trust?
The rabbi.
The rabbi? Yes, the rabbi. I doubt if he would be contaminated by greed or ambition. Yes, I will go to him.
Saul. Oh, come in. Seldom is my humble abode honored by a man of fame and renown such as you are. Howbeit, I take it you are here for some definite purpose.
I seek your counsel, Rabbi.
Saul, the defender of the faith, The newest member of the Sanhedrin wishes my counsel.
I have great confidence in your wisdom and judgment, Rabbi.
Thank you. And I'll certainly do all in my power to give you good counsel.
Well, my problem is a state of mind. Well, I don't seem to be able to decide if Stephen was a blasphemer or not.
Huh?
The witnesses against him were all hired.
Oh, Stephen was a blasphemer of the worst kind.
Do you really think so?
Of course. Oh, he wasn't a blasphemer in the ordinary sense of the word. He didn't come right out and say openly blasphemous things against the law or the temple. But he did preach doctrines that, if believed, would lead to much worse consequences than open blasphemy. Therefore, he was guilty.
I wish I could be sure of that.
You don't believe that Jesus, whom Stephen preached, was truly the Messiah, do you?
I hardly know what to believe.
Saul, you see these vestments I'm wearing.
Yes?
What do they signify?
That you're a rabbi, a priest.
More specifically, that I hold the office of a priest because of heritage, that I render a service unto God. From the chief priest on down, we priests are all ministering in holy office. Therefore, we can't be wrong. God wouldn't let us be wrong. We say that Jesus was an impostor. We say that Stephen was guilty and his death warranted. We say these things, and you can be sure that they are true.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Well, at least you look better. You seem more cheerful.
The rabbi convinced me that Jesus was an impostor and that Stephen received his just reward for blasphemy.
You really believe that Stephen was a blasphemer?
He must have been. The rulers and priests say so. They should know.
May I say something, Saul?
Of course.
You won't be angry?
Should I be?
Not if you want to hear the truth.
I do. Above everything else, I want to know the truth. That is why I have been so active against the disciples of Jesus. I believe Jesus was an impostor, and I want our people to know so that they won't be led astray. But what is this particular truth you wish to tell me?
It has to do with why you believe that Jesus is an impostor.
Oh?
You were educated in the best schools by the priesthood. You were taught to respect their opinions.
Well, I do respect them very much.
Exactly. Therefore, you have certain prejudices. Prejudices inherited from your teachers. You're partial to their opinions.
I do realize that it is hard, sometimes almost impossible to arise above one's background, teachings, environment.
Especially when that background is so hard and fast and determined as that of our priests and rulers. Also, Saul, you have pride. You like popularity. All these things added together has caused you to rebel against the voice of your conscience.
Rebel? Against my conscience?
You questioned and questioned seriously the validity of the priest's claim that Jesus was an impostor.
No, that wasn't my conscience. That was just my inherent desire to know the truth. And now that I do know it, now that I fully realize that Jesus was an impostor, I am going to make every effort to persecute and destroy those who are so blatantly teaching and preaching Jesus as the Messiah. I'm going to see to it, personally, that they are all properly punished, even as Stephen was punished.
By death.
By death. You have been properly tried and condemned to death. God, take this heretic out and see that he is stoned until dead. Your Honor, the prisoner has refused to defend himself, except to remark that if death is to be the result of his faith and belief in Jesus of Nazareth, then he is proud to die. I say, Your Honor, that such misguided and sacrilegious faith must be stamped out, lest all of our people lose sight of the true God, and our nation becomes a nation of rebels, frowned upon by God himself. People! And, Your Honor, this man in the prisoner's cage was taken in the very act of preaching that Jesus of Nazareth was actually resurrected from the dead and taken alive up into the sky, into heaven. Now what lies, what sacrilege, what blasphemy! I recommend, Your Honor, I demand that the prisoner be put to death according to our law.
Does the prisoner have a defense?
Your Honor, Saul of Tarsus, fellow countrymen, although I am aware of what is about to befall me, I firmly declare unto you that Jesus of Nazareth was the Messiah. He was resurrected from Joseph's tomb and is ascended unto the Father in heaven, where he is now our advocate. Jesus of Nazareth is the Son of God.
Lies! The death penalty, Your Honor! I thought you'd be pleased, Your Grace.
Yes, I'm more than pleased, Saul of Tarsus. So are all members of the Sanhedrin. By your own personal efforts, your vigilant persecution, the heresy will soon be wiped out.
Yes, there's scarcely any of them left in Jerusalem now.
You've had that many killed already?
Oh, no, hardly. Most of them have fled to safer places.
They've fled to other places?
By the hundreds.
But do you know what that means?
We're rid of them. Never again will we be bothered by the followers of Jesus.
Quick, go out and call together the Sanhedrin. A special meeting, an emergency.
Your Grace,
Do as I say immediately.
Well, of course, Your Grace, yet I... Well, don't I have the right to know what I have done to cause this emergency? Obviously, I've done something.
Scattering the believers in Jesus abroad, that's the worst thing you could have done.
I don't understand.
You know how zealous they are, fearless. Well, they'll preach their doctrines everywhere now, and no telling how many converts they'll get.
Yes, I see what you mean. And it is true. It is an emergency. I'll call the Sanhedrin together at once.
Members of the Sanhedrin, we face a crisis. Another crisis. We are confronted with a serious problem and must act quickly, effectively, if we are to divert a major calamity to our position and prestige. You are all familiar with our hope that by diligent and stern measures, the believers in Jesus would be suppressed.
Yes, we are.
Saul of Tarsus has carried out your wishes. Yet it is
Give us the details and eliminate all the unnecessary remarks.
Yes. In short, members of the Sanhedrin, the believers in Jesus are escaping to other countries and cities by the hundreds.
A dangerous situation.
Gentlemen. Desperate situations call for desperate measures.
They do.
The heresy of this new teaching must be stopped.
Well, we are certainly agreed on that. But how to stop them? How?
Well, how are we stopping them right here in Jerusalem?
Well, we gave Saul of Tarsus the authority to... What? Do you mean that we should use the same methods outside of Jerusalem that we are using in Jerusalem?
Yes, persecution, death, imprisonment.
Yes, but our authority for that sort of thing does not extend beyond the walls of Jerusalem.
You are the high priest, are you not?
Yes.
We are the Sanhedrin.
Yes.
Do you for 1 minute imagine that the priests and rulers in other cities of Israel would dare oppose our wishes, our authority?
Perhaps you are right.
I know I am. Anyway, what other course is open to us? None. Therefore, I suggest that we proceed with plans to, shall we say, suppress this heresy. I further suggest that we start this suppression in some place where we know that they have gained converts.
Your Grace,
Saul of Tarsus.
it is said that Damascus is fast becoming a stronghold of the escaping believers of Jesus.
Damascus, huh?
Damascus is a long ways away.
Only several days' journey, honored sir.
Do you feel that the same decided measures against the followers of Jesus in Damascus would stop them as it did here?
I do, sir.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Saul of Tarsus.
I am too.
It seems unanimous that a special work of eliminating the followers of Jesus at Damascus is to be started at once. Is this correct?
Yes, that's right.
Your Grace, honored sir, members of the Sanhedrin, it is with a sense of duty and pleasure that I hereby offer my services in this very worthy endeavor.
All in favor of accepting this offer from Saul of Tarsus, so signify. It is unanimous. We of the Sanhedrin do hereby authorize you, Saul of Tarsus, to carry out our wishes in this matter. You are to take whatever steps are necessary to eliminate all heresy in Damascus. Does this meet with the full approval of the Sanhedrin?
Yes.
Your commission is now established, Saul of Tarsus.
Thank you, Your Grace. Honored sir and fellow members of the Sanhedrin, rest assured that the believers in Damascus and elsewhere will come to fear me. In the vigor and zeal of my youth, I go forth against this new heresy.
You wish to see me, Saul of Tarsus?
If you please, Your Grace.
I thought you'd be on your way to Damascus before this.
Well, it is that very thing, Your Grace, that I wish to talk to you about.
You're not going?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed, I'm going, but... Well, I've been thinking, and well, you will remember, Your Grace, that you yourself at the special Sanhedrin meeting suggested that perhaps the authority of the Sanhedrin did not extend beyond the walls of Jerusalem.
Yes.
Well, Your Grace, I have a suggestion to eliminate that possibility. The possibility of anyone outside these walls refusing to cooperate with us in persecuting the followers of Jesus.
We decided that no local priest or ruler would dare oppose our wishes, remember?
Even so, Your Grace, dangers do attend the practice of arresting and putting to death the followers of Jesus outside your immediate jurisdiction and personal attention.
I don't think I follow you.
Well, Your Grace, I suggest that instead of holding trials in Damascus, for instance, I arrest all of the followers of Jesus and bring them back here for trial and execution.
Intelligent suggestion. I can well understand how a trial and subsequent death sentence in some far distant land like Damascus could cause complications to develop.
But if the trial were held here under your personal supervision, you could keep your hand on the pulse of the people and suppress any opposition before it developed.
Authority is granted, Saul of Tarsus, for you to arrest any follower of Jesus and bring him a prisoner here at Jerusalem.
Your Grace, I should like letters to that effect. Letters to each of the priests in all of the synagogues of Damascus. Instruct them to cooperate with me in arresting and binding all followers of Jesus.
Ingenious.
And be sure to make it clear, Your Grace, that I have the right and authority to arrest all believers, even women.
It shall be done, Saul of Tarsus.
What are you frightened of?
I don't know, Saul. Something. Just a feeling, perhaps, but
Everything's going to be all right.
You're going far away to a foreign land, Saul. No one knows you. Something's going to happen.
What could happen?
You're going on a mission of murder and death, and you say what could happen?
Well, what could?
Anything. Everything. Suppose, for instance, that the believers of Jesus in Damascus learn of your coming. Why, they might plan your death.
The believers of Jesus? They aren't that daring.
Well, then suppose that you're wrong. Suppose that Jesus of Nazareth was the Messiah, is the Son of God. Do you think he'd stand idly by in heaven and see his followers murdered, massacred?
But I'm not wrong. Jesus was not the Messiah.
But just supposing he was, what then?
I've talked to the wise men of Israel, the priests, rulers, the man on the street. They can't all be wrong. Jesus of Nazareth was an impostor. I don't want to hear any more about it. I'm going to Damascus and persecute the followers of Jesus. Captain!
Yes, sir?
Do you know where we're going?
You haven't seemed fit to tell me, sir.
Well, I thought perhaps you'd heard it from some other source.
I understand our mission is a secret one, sir.
Yes, in a way, it is secret. And now that we're on our way, though, I can tell you.
Yes, sir?
We're going to Damascus.
A long journey, sir.
We're going to persecute the followers of Jesus there.
I assumed that, sir.
From my past actions?
Well, sir,
Now, don't be afraid to say so. I'm proud of my part in eliminating the followers of Jesus in Jerusalem.
Yes, sir.
What do you personally think of the followers of Jesus, Captain?
I'm a soldier, sir. I think and act as my superior wishes.
You're a man of diplomacy, Captain. Well, Captain, the next likely place to stop, we'll make camp for the night.
Yes, sir.
Captain, break camp and prepare to be on our way.
Yes, sir.
Captain, we'll halt in that clump of trees for a short rest.
Yes, sir.
Saul of Tarsus and his men slowly made their way northward toward Damascus. Finally, after days of journeying through desolate wasteland, jagged, unsightly ravines and passageways, the weary travelers arrived at midday on the broad tableland immediately above and adjacent to the city of Damascus.
Oh. Why, it's beautiful, sir.
A veritable Eden.
Look at those gardens, sir, and that stretch of fertile land.
An oasis in the midst of barren desolation.
Where does the water come from to water all the vegetation and groves?
Streams, I imagine, from those mountains.
Anyway, it's refreshing to see after those endless miles of desert.
I'm not a poet, and I've never had the time to meditate on beauty and the finer things of life. But I'd say that this view of Damascus is among the most satisfying experiences that can come to mortal man.
Suddenly, around about Saul of Tarsus and his companies, there shone a bright light from heaven, like the dazzling brightness of the sun, too bright and glorious for mortal eye to bear. And Saul fell prostrate to the ground. The companies of Saul heard as it were a voice, but they understood not the words. But to Saul the words were in the Hebrew tongue, and he understood them.
Who are you, Lord?
The voice answered, I am Jesus, whom you are persecuting. It hurts you to kick against the goad.
Jesus? Jesus of Nazareth?
To Saul was clearly revealed the Son of God. In the glorious being who stood before him, Saul saw the crucified Jesus. Upon the stricken soul of Saul was forever imprinted the countenance of the risen Savior.
Lord, what would you have me to do?
And the voice replied, Rise, and enter the city, and you will be told what you are to do.
Captain! Captain! Captain!
Yes, sir?
Where are you?
Right here, sir, in front of you.
I can't see. I'm blind. The glory of Jesus blinded me.
What's that, sir?
I just saw Jesus, and his glory was
Jesus? Jesus of Nazareth?
Jesus, the promised Messiah.
But Jesus is dead. He died on the cross. And he was not resurrected. You yourself said so.
I was wrong. I was wrong about a lot of things. In persecuting the followers of Jesus, I had been doing the work of Satan. Jesus is alive. He is the Messiah. He came to save Israel, the very ones who are guilty of his crucifixion.
Sir, what's the matter? What are you talking about?
I saw Jesus. I talked to him. He is alive. And I persecuted him for punishment. I am blind. Oh, Jesus, Lord and Master, lead me in paths of truth and light. Thank you. Captain, take me to Damascus. I must go there in obedience to the holy command of Jesus the Messiah.
Of the woodland. Ranger Bill, warrior of the woodland, struggling against extreme odds, traveling dangerous trails, showing rare courage in the face of disaster. In the air. On horseback. Or in a screaming squad car. Ranger Bill, his mind alert, a ready smile, unswerving, loyal to his mission. And all this in exchange for the satisfaction and pride of a job well done.
ranger's life is jam-packed with danger, and the dangers may come at him one at a time or in bunches like bananas. Dangerous animals and reptiles, floods, storms, forest fire, and I could make the list much longer. But there's one danger that turns a ranger's blood to chilled water, and that's the sound. Now you've heard the sound. Snow avalanche. Hundreds and thousands of tons of snow catapulting down the slope of a mountain, smashing, crushing, and covering everything in its path. There's little chance for escape. You can't swim it, crawl under or over it, or run from it. Henry and I have been on ski patrol up in the Big Six country. The Big Six are mountains on top of mountains, and only the most experienced skiers can attempt the Big Six. Big Six Lodge is located on a sort of giant plateau, so as to attract all skiers of varying experience. Skiing can be done on the gentler slopes below the lodge, and also from the Big Six and their dangerously fast slopes. Our job, keep the lodge and the Big Six country safe from snowslides, find the baby avalanches, and kill them.
Well, there's another baby avalanche that won't grow up to be a big and mean granddaddy killer snowslide.
You said it, pal. If we didn't blow up this snow collecting point, it would build and build. Till someday some poor skier would blow his nose too hard and pow! Down the mountain this killer would roll.
Boy, and how. Hey, you remember about 5 years ago, the one that pulverized Little Six Lodge and everybody in it?
Yeah, I sure remember all right, pal. And so do you. We dug out at least a dozen bodies. That's why they built the reinforced concrete room under the Big Six Lodge, just in case.
I don't think they'll ever have to use it now that we're scouting for the little fellas and blowing them down the mountain.
I hope you're right. But we've had more snow than usual this winter, and you and I have been pretty busy lately, trying to keep up with the avalanche hatching department.
Yeah, you said it. But it's fun. You know, this sure gives me lots of skiing time, and I love it.
I'll say, young fella, it's getting late. You better start heading for that lodge pronto.
Hey, I'll beat you to the lodge if you're not too tired for a race.
Why, you young whippersnapper, I'll be down there having supper before you shift into high gear.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see you catch me.
Here I come!
Jenny, I wish you'd stop looking at the Big Six like a lovesick calf.
Oh, Edith, don't be a child. I can and I will ski them.
Oh, you're impossible. You've got to be the best to take the Big Six, and that's not all. There's avalanches.
It can't be so tough. Look at those two come down the Big Six.
Those are the Rangers.
Oh, Paul, I didn't hear you come up.
Rangers? Well, what are they doing up there?
Well, their job is to find where the snow is building up for potential avalanches and blow them up with explosives so they can't grow any bigger.
Oh, look at them. They must be awfully good skiers.
Well, they're among the top skiers in the area. They have to be to stay alive up there.
Look at them ski. Oh, how wonderful.
I know who they are. Bill Jefferson and Henry Scott.
Yes, Bill is the boss ranger and Henry is his right hand.
Married?
Jenny.
No, they're single.
Good looking?
Oh, yes. Very handsome and very rugged.
Don't waste your time, Jenny. They won't let you ski the Big Six.
I'll say they won't. They're tough.
I've never had any trouble before getting my way with men. I'll ski the Big Six.
Jenny, I'm warning you.
Paul, you run your lodge, and I'll run the Rangers.
What happened, pal? You were so slow.
Well, I let you win out of respect to your senior years. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Henry. What's tickling Bill?
Oh, he's laughing at his old age.
You fellas didn't ski like old age. In fact, you had quite an audience.
Come on, Paul. You didn't just stop by to tell us that. What's up?
Who didn't check in, and we've got to go and look for them?
Well, there aren't any missing skiers, but there's liable to be.
Huh? Are you a prophet?
Well, this is what I know right now, not a prophecy.
All right. Who's the trouble this time?
Boy, you must read my mind.
He or she, or is it a thing?
Well, offhand, I'd say it's a female thing. Her father neglected to do one thing when he raised her.
He neglected the paddle.
You said it, and I don't mean canoe paddle.
Well, Paul, what's her name?
Jenny Bender. And she's very beautiful, I might add.
You tell Miss Bender that avalanches kill very beautiful women just as quickly as anyone else. Great beauty doesn't stop a snowslide.
Well, now that you've seen the two rangers, what do you think of them?
Oh, they're the two most handsome and rugged men I've ever seen. Henry Scott seems awfully young, but oh, that Bill Jefferson, dreamy. Just dreamy.
And tough as nails for those who break the law or don't follow safety rules.
Edie, dear child, don't you know rules and regulations were never made for a woman like me?
Jenny, dear child, you're not a woman yet, and you're no older than I am, so don't pull that stuff on me.
But Edie, you think like a child. What's that stupid sign doing here?
No skiers allowed on the Big Six until the ski patrol has cleared it of potential avalanche buildup locations. This order applies to all skiers, no exceptions. Bill Jefferson, Chief Ranger.
Well, I'm glad you young ladies can read. That sign applies especially to you, Jenny.
Oh, pish, pish, Paul. My father is a big supporter of your lodge, and I'll ski where I want and when I want.
Need I remind you that your father's parting words were for me to make sure you stayed out of trouble?
Oh, he was just talking like a father. I don't pay any attention to him. Fathers can be so square sometimes.
Jenny, how you talk.
Well, it's the truth.
Well, I wouldn't dare say that about my father.
Perhaps, but you think it.
Well, I'm sure I thought that about my father, too, when I was in my late teens. That is, until something happened and I found out dear old Dad wasn't a square after all, but a pretty smart fella. But I didn't play around with death.
Oh, Paul, stop being so melodramatic.
Jenny, I don't care what you say or think, but you'd better obey the ranger's orders and stay off the Big Six. Understand? Stay off the Big Six until the snowslide danger is over.
And what will you do if I don't?
Why, I'll be best man at your funeral. Hey, don't you guys ever rest or sleep or slow down like normal human beings?
Good morning, Paul.
Oh, it is Paul, isn't it?
I think so, pal. However, I think Paul has two eyes instead of only half of one eye.
Oh, half? His good eye isn't open more than a slit. You'd better watch where you're walking, Paul, or you'll run into something.
Well, I'd get plenty of sleep if there weren't so many crazy people in the lodge. Do you guys realize it's only 5:30 in the morning?
Man, that's late. You know, we've got to climb the Big Six on our own steam. None of this soft stuff like riding the ski toll for us.
Oh, that's right. Say, have you fellas had breakfast?
Sure. Cookie is a good friend of ours.
Is it bad up on the Big Six?
I think so. We're changing our tactics today, Paul. Instead of spotting baby avalanches and blowing them right up then and there, we're going to try and survey the whole Big Six today. And tomorrow we'll go back and start the demolition. That way we might be able to open up part of the Big Six in just a few days.
Say, how about Jenny Bender?
What do you mean, how about her? You know the orders.
I mean, after you open up the high slopes.
Does she have the experience and common sense to ski the killer slopes?
No, but she thinks she has.
Now, the hospital is full of those kind of people.
Wow, the place is crawling with baby avalanches. Hey, look at that one up there.
Uh-huh. Looks like it's in a good spot for a fast and large growth.
Maybe we better climb up there and knock it down.
If we do, we'll never finish our survey. I sure hate to leave it, even overnight.
Maybe I can shout it down.
Say, you just gave me an idea, pal.
Rifle shot?
Right. Now watch.
Hey, good shot.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. That shot was too good. There's another one coming down behind us. Let's get out of here. Head for the lodge.
Boy, that was a sleeper.
You said it. Pull up.
Oh, man, that was a close squeak.
And how? Now, there's a Class A example of how those killer avalanches work.
Oh, and how? They wouldn't have found us until the spring thaw.
Come on. Let's go back to the lodge. We lost too much ground to climb back up and finish the survey today.
Boy, am I glad to see you guys. We heard them. What happened?
Well, Bill shot one down and another snuck up behind us.
We heard them, so I grabbed the glasses just in time to see you two come racing down the gap like you were being chased. That was close.
Yeah, you're right. Well, what's for supper?
How can you guys be so nonchalant and relaxed after a narrow escape like that?
We always say a miss is as good as a mile.
Yeah, but...
Oh, this is dangerous business, Paul. Sooner or later, we're bound to have a close one.
Right. That's why it's so important to be spiritually and mentally ready to face death. Well, we're not afraid of dying. But on the other hand, Paul, the Lord doesn't want us to shortcut our lives by foolish action. This is risky business. We try to stay in top condition and be prepared for emergencies. We're not afraid to die.
We got roast beef for dinner.
Hey, Jenny. Here come the dreamboats.
What a hunk of man. Here's my chance.
Jenny, don't. Not now.
Oh, pish, tish, child. If you're afraid, wait here and finish your dinner. Bill Jefferson? Mr. Jefferson, I don't like to be ignored when I talk to you. Bill Jefferson, it will do no good to hold your head down. I won't go away.
Miss whatever your name...
Jenny Bender.
Oh, Jenny Bender. So you're the one.
Yes, I'm the Jenny Bender.
Don't you have sense enough not to interrupt people when they're praying? Or don't you pray before you dine?
Is that why you had your head down? That's old-fashioned. You know, old hat. Strictly for squares.
Then I'm a square, Miss Bender. I'm also a Christian. And Henry and I pray before every meal.
Yeah, and we also read our Bibles and go to church and Sunday school.
Bill, I want to ski the Big Six.
You know what happened up there today?
Of course. And because you two are such expert skiers and such rugged men, you escaped.
Doesn't that register in the common sense department of your brain?
Yes. You two can teach me to ski the Big Six. And I'd really like you to teach me, Bill. How about starting tomorrow morning?
Young lady, I'm a ranger, not a ski instructor.
And what a ranger. What a man. My kind of man.
Miss Bender.
Oh, call me Jenny. All my friends do.
Miss Bender, the answer is no. Absolutely and flatly no. Now, will you please allow us to have dinner in peace and quiet?
Well, I can take a hint. But I am going to ski the Big Six. With or without you.
Jenny, stop acting like a spanked child.
Oh, he makes me so furious.
You finally met your match, didn't you? I told you he's tough.
Well, I'll show him.
Oh, stop. You're acting like a spoiled brat. You know you're not going to ski the Big Six, so why talk about it?
I am going to ski it.
Are you crazy? Bill and Henry almost got it up there today. The only reason they didn't is because they're experts and they've had a lot of skiing experience.
I have a lot of skiing experience, too.
But not enough for up there. Even some of the best men skiers won't try it because it's too dangerous. Too many snow slides.
I'm going to do it.
Not really. You don't really mean it?
I'm going to do it, even if it kills me.
Oh, boy. Oh, this is a cat's meow. That fire sure feels good. Warms right down to me creaking old bag of bones.
Mm-hmm. It sure is cozy, all right. I think I'm going to take a nap. Afterward, I'll settle down to some real sleeping.
Oh, me too. Likewise. Oh, let the winter winds blow. Let there be ice and snow. I don't care now. Oh, it's so comfortable in here.
Edith, for the love of Mike, we go to bed early up here, you know. Skiers are supposed to get tired from all the fresh air and that sort of stuff.
I'm sorry, Paul, but have you seen Jenny?
No, I don't care if I ever do.
Well, I'm worried. She hasn't come to bed and I can't find her anywhere.
That's too bad. Maybe she's making goo-goo eyes at Bill or on a manhunt.
Oh, Paul, wake up. This could be serious. She said she's going to ski the Big Six.
At night? Oh, go to bed, Edith.
Paul, will you please wake up and pay attention? What's the ironclad rule about skis?
Oh, for Pete's sake. Let me get some sleep.
All skis have to be in the rack, don't they?
Of course.
Well, why?
So we can count noses. Now let me go to sleep, District Attorney.
Jenny's skis aren't in the rack.
Look, I counted all ski racks before dark, and all hands are safely tucked in. Now go away, will you?
Paul, her skis aren't there. I just looked.
Are you sure?
Oh, man. I have two good eyes. Go see for yourself.
Come on, and be quiet. Bill and Henry are sleeping in the lounge. They need their rest.
Okay, but hurry.
Wait till I grab a coat. Okay, come on, let's go. You're right, they're gone.
Oh, I never thought she meant it. What'll we do?
How about her ski clothes?
She had them on late this afternoon, but I didn't think anything of it because she hardly ever changes until after dinner.
Well, we better make sure she isn't around here somewhere.
Let's get Bill and Henry to help.
No, let the poor guys relax. If we can't find her, then there'll be plenty of time to get them.
Well, how are we going to search for her? How far?
Well, you go out this end of the lodge, and I'll go round the other end, and we'll meet in front. Now be sure and look everywhere, but don't call out.
Okay. Oh, that crazy kid.
Rangers up at 5:30. Crazy women disappearing. Up early and to bed late. This is nuttier than a fruitcake factory.
Paul, I didn't find her.
Neither did I. Are you sure you looked everywhere?
Yes. What's that noise?
What noise?
Shh.
Avalanche!
No. It can't be. Jenny's out there.
It's too late now. I'm going to sound the alarm and get everyone into the shelter. Come on.
Paul, how close is it?
Sounds far away, but...
But is right. At a 150-mile-an-hour clip, it won't take long to get here. Come on, pal. We're the last ones. Let's get down in the shelter before it's too late.
Boy, having a microphone on the outside so you can hear the slide coming sure is clever. but I don't think it's going to reach the lodge.
Oh, that's good. Well, sure better.
Well, it's dying off. Must be a mile short of the lodge, thank the Lord. All right, folks, it's safe to go back to bed now.
Going upstairs now. Come on, everybody. Get you all over. Thank the Lord for that.
Jenny. Jenny, you fool.
What's going on, Paul?
Well, Jenny Bender's missing.
What? Why, I thought you counted all the skis before dinner.
She left the lodge after dark.
Now, wait a minute. Maybe she didn't head for the Big Six.
Oh, Bill, you know that's where she went. You know it was the one thing that possessed her.
Well, we might as well get started looking for her.
She's under the slide. I just know she is.
Well, there's one way to find out. We'll go up and take a look. We don't know how much area this one covered.
Good idea. Come on.
Oh, no.
She's under it, all right. Another half mile, and we'd be under it, too.
All right, pal. Let's suit up and get our skis hung.
Okay, Bill. She got the Big Six, all right. Right on top of her. Well, let's hold up a minute, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we've covered both sides of the slide.
I'll say we did. Boy, it's cold up here tonight.
Yeah, you said it. Jenny didn't have a prayer of a chance, Bill.
I know she didn't, pal. But we had to try.
Sure we did. I wouldn't sleep nights if we hadn't. Tell me something.
If I can. Shoot.
Well, why did a beautiful young woman like Jenny throw her life away like this?
In Proverbs 13:24 it says, "He that spareth his rod hateth his son. He that loveth him chasteneth him."
Yeah, that makes a fella stop and think.
Jenny never learned to take instruction, nor has she received the benefits of constructive discipline. Well, have you got any wind back, pal?
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
All right, let's head back to the lodge. I'll have to call Jenny's father and tell him the tragic news.
Hey, wait a minute.
What's the matter? You see something move?
No, but there's a black speck down there below us. It looks like a small piece of charred wood sticking out of the snow.
Whereabouts?
Follow my point. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you're right. It does look like charred... Of course. It's like charred wood because it's the tip of a chimney to a small cabin down there.
Could she be in...
It's a slim hope. A mighty slim one. But at least it's hope. Come on, let's go. Careful, pal. There could be air pockets under the snow around the building.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Hey, there's the black speck we saw.
It's the chimney top, all right. Let's clean away this snow.
Yeah. I'll wipe this side off.
Okay.
Hey, this chimney is pretty big inside.
That's what I was thinking. Hello? Anybody down there?
Who is it? Who is it? Where are you?
Oh, thank the Lord she's alive.
Amen, pal. Haven't got any time to waste. Jenny, this is Bill, Jefferson, and Henry. Can you get in the fireplace? We're at the top of the chimney.
Oh, Bill, I didn't think anyone would ever find me. Oh, how did you?
Never mind that. Tie the end of this rope around and under your arms. We'll pull you up. Now, don't panic. Your life depends on it, and ours too. We don't know if there's more avalanche to come. Now, hurry up.
I'll try, but my hands are shaking so badly.
You can do it. Now, tie that rope. Right now.
All right. I'm ready.
Is it a stout knot?
Yes.
You're going to get full of soot, but you're coming up. Now, close your eyes.
All set.
Now. Okay. Pull. That's it. A little more. There she comes.
I'm out. I'm out. Oh, you're wonderful.
Henry, put her on my back. Jenny, You'll have to ride piggyback.
All right.
Up you go.
Oh, there.
There we are.
Oh,
All right,
I'm
Henry.
set.
Break trail for us. Head for the protection of those rock overhangs at the edge of the slide. And step on it.
All right.
Not another one?
Come on, Bill. It's only a few more steps.
I'll make it. Get against the wall. Flat.
The chimney's completely covered. I would have died.
Jenny, you're alive. Thank God.
Look at me. Look what a mess I am, thanks to you, Bill Jefferson. My hair is black. My ski clothes, look at them. They're all covered with soot. Oh, I'm just a horrible mess. Oh, stop staring at me and leave me alone.
Well, I'll be a busted ski. She didn't even thank you fellas for saving her life. Of all the...
Paul, skip it. It's all right.
Huh? It is?
Yes. She's partially in shock, but mostly embarrassed. You see, this is her first taste of discipline. And, it hit her like an avalanche. Well, see you next week for more adventure with Ranger Bill!